once you do start to trade, you will lose a lot of money in the beginning. Hey guys, what's up? Brandon here. Let's go. So today I'm going to be talking about 10 cons of being a Forex trader. 1. It gets lonelier. Being a trader, when you think about it, especially if it is your full-time trader and you work from home, you realistically work by yourself. You don't have co-workers, you don't have colleagues, you don't have anybody you could say, well, after work I'm going and let's go and get a beer, let's go for food. You don't have that, right? You are literally by yourself, with yourself, and only yourself. So it can get very, very lonely, which is why a lot of traders form groups or a lot of traders join groups, right? To kind of bring that human element back into the industry. 2. You have to put in a lot of work to get good. A lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of effort. Trust me, you could do this. It could take you 2 months. It could take you 2 years. It could take you 20 years. I know people that have been doing this thing for 10, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years even, and they still haven't gotten good, right? A big part to play in that is obviously not necessarily using the correct information, or not applying the information in the correct way, or maybe they're just undisciplined enough to actually use the information or go seek out the information. But nevertheless, I can tell you that it takes a lot to get successful. 3. You will lose a lot of money in the beginning, right? Unless you're only trading demo, which I don't advise. But once you do start to trade, you will lose a lot of money in the beginning. It kind of come like, driving a manual car, stick shift vehicle. Regardless of what, you must understand, you must go through the motions, right? It's like a rite of passage, right? You will stall the vehicle, right? You will cut off, you will be put under some pressure. People will be blowing their horns behind you, and you will get that. It's just something that you have to go through. Now, how much you lose is entirely up to you, and how long you lose is also entirely up to you. But this is something that I think I would say it's impossible for a trader to come into the industry and not have lost any money or not have blown any accounts. Almost impossible. 4. Not everybody could do this, I'll tell you that. Not everybody could do this. What I mean by that is anybody can become the person that they need to be to do this. But not everybody is willing to become a different person. I've said it in the pros video that I learned a lot about myself and I changed a lot, right, in my journey to being a trader and all of that. And I'll tell you that I am now a I've heard people say it all the time. The Brandon that I was before is not the same as the Brandon that I am today, right? It means that I am a different person. I've become the person that I need to be in order to be a trader. But not everybody is willing to do that because change is very uncomfortable. 5. Despite what you would have heard or what you might have seen on Instagram or Facebook or wherever, right, where these gurus talk about, yeah, come on, join my thing and come on, do this class and whatever, and it's gonna be easy, and yeah, let me tell you, anytime anybody tells you that Forex trading is easy, run. Because I can assure you that it's not. Even now in my consistency, I can tell you that it's still not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to achieve, and I still lose trades to this day. I lost a trade last night. I can talk about that. I'm open to talk about it, but I will tell you that anytime anybody tells you that it's easy and you can make money from your phone and whatever, let me tell you, what they aren't telling you is what it takes to get to that level and how much it takes and how long it takes. 6. Majority of what you learn, wherever you learn it, is garbage. And you still at that point need to go and piece together the garbage for yourself, right? Unless you find someone to teach you, obviously, who is consistent and profitable and successful. But majority of what you learn is garbage. It's a waste of time. I can assure you that. I have gone through that motion myself. Majority of what you see online, right, is people just saying the same thing over and over and over, and it doesn't really bring the results that we want from the industry. So be very careful with that. 7. There's a stigma associated with Forex traders. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. The instant you told somebody that you're a Forex trader, they start to grimace. They start to, you see, you can see they start to pull back. They're like, oh, you're one of those guys, right? There's a stigma associated with Forex traders, and unfortunately for us, it's something that we have to live with, right? Most people think Forex is a scam. Most people think Forex or trading on the whole is a scam, or it's gambling or whatever. But realistically, what isn't gambling when you think about it, right? Everything, everything is risky. Everything has some level of risk, right? As a Forex trader, you just get to see the risk happen right in front of you. The reality is, Forex traders are very misunderstood. Good Forex traders, I would say, are very misunderstood. You can't do anything about the stigma. There are people that are going to tell you that you're not going to make it. You're wasting your time. They're going to tell you that Forex is a scam, and you lose all your money. It's just something that you have to live with, right? I still hear it to this day, more than 6 years later, or around 6 years later, right? I could tell you that, yeah, it doesn't go away. 8. You won't get a lot of support from your friends and family because of the last point, which is where there's a stigma associated with Forex traders or traders on the whole. A lot of people, don't like supporting things that they themselves don't understand. And I get that. I understand, right? It only makes sense to not support something that you don't necessarily understand. But the mistake a lot of people make is they don't try to understand. And thus, that creates barriers. It creates blocks, right? Your own family and your own friends are very likely not going to support you. And in fact, they might even try to dissuade you out of doing it and tell you don't waste your time, right? At that point, you then need to ask yourself the question, how bad do I really want this? Do I really want to do this? Do I really want to take this journey, right? Is it worth it to me, right? Is it something that I'm doing just because I want the money, or is it something that I'm doing because I really feel like I could be good at this if I put my mind to it? Because the reality is that you can make a lot of money in many different industries. Why did you choose Forex? You understand? So you chose Forex did you choose Forex because you really wanted to do it and you really felt like, you were attached to this thing? Or did you choose it purely because of money? If you choose it purely because of money, you can be a lawyer, you can be a pilot, you can be a doctor. Be very careful as to why you're coming into this industry. 9. You have to manage your own time and resources, and you have to do all of the work yourself. Remember, in one of the earlier points I said that you work by yourself, for yourself, with yourself. There are no co-workers, no managers, no supervisors, nothing. You are the person that is doing everything, right? You are the person that is handling everything in your own business. So realistically, right? Realistically, when it comes to withdrawing your money, you have to handle that. When it comes to placing the trades, you have to handle that. When it comes to making sure that you are awake on time so that you can take the correct trades, you have to handle that. And all of these different things are factors that you must maintain control over. Because if you do not, essentially what happens is you fall down. 10. If you aren't a dedicated person, the likelihood of you giving up is very, very high. Forex traders there's a high turnover in terms of who becomes Forex traders. Remember, there's a very low barrier to entry into this space, which means there's also a very high turnover rate. I know people that come try it for 2 months and then they quit because they realize that it's nowhere near as easy as they think it is. You have to be dedicated to this thing. And if you aren't, I can assure you, the likelihood of you saying, you know what, this isn't for me, is very, very high. You have to be okay with that and say that, you know what, I am dedicated beyond my wants and needs here. I have to do this thing. And if you aren't that person and you can't become that person, you probably aren't going to make it in this space. Alright guys, so these were 10 cons of being a Forex trader. Hopefully you watch the pros video so you can make a comparison. The purpose of these 2 videos is basically so that you can see what's good about the industry and what's bad. I can tell you that when I came into the industry, I didn't have somebody to tell me these things, and I had to figure them out on my own. So I'm making these 2 videos, or I made the first one and I'm making this one now, so that I can give a little insight into what it's like to be a trader, right? Because a lot of people do not know most of these things, and obviously that makes it very hard to make an informed decision if I even want to be a trader in the first place, if I even want to continue being a trader in the first place. So I hope that this video gives you some insight, and be sure, if you didn't watch the other one, be sure to go check the other one out, which is the pros video. If you think that I'm speaking the truth in what I would have said here today, be sure to hit like on the video. Also comment below on what you think is the worst part, the worst thing about being a Forex trader. Be sure to hit subscribe and ring the bell for more informational and educational, even entertaining videos like this, right? Also, you can reach out to me at Ikata Trading on Telegram, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, wherever. And other than that, today is Friday. I would have lost one trade last night. That's fine. It is what it is. We have NFP in a few minutes. So if you are going to be trading, or if you did trade NFP, hopefully you got some winning trades. And if not, then there's always next week. All right, once your risk is managed. Other than that, guys, have a great weekend, and I will see you all the next time.